Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Monday 29th of September. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, actually before I do that, just quick look at the diary today, or the calendar, economic calendar today. We've got just a CB consumer confidence later on, so that's at 3 p.m. Not a great mover at any time, so I don't expect too much to come from that. So that's US data, 3 p.m. That's it for the day. So let's look at the technicals, my favourite. So looking at the technicals, I'm going to just look at them slightly different this morning. I'll show you something slightly because I'm going to just bring in the order book into the play a little bit here. So I had questions about it last week, and just thought I'd throw it in and show you where we are with the euro at the moment, particularly, and the pound. So looking at where we are here on a daily basis, good reversal day yesterday. Saw some just glimpses of potential further upside, but we do have this a resistance point here just above us at 1704. 1700 is seen as a pivotal area for a lot of people, so they're watching for that. What was interesting when I looked at the order book a little earlier, I can just bring this into play a little bit so you can see a bit of the order book here, and if I can get my pen working on here, it stops the, there we go. So what we've got is, generally this is where price is at the moment. If you see the blue here, this is net buy orders. When you've got net buy orders sitting above a price area, there's a chance that traders, and particularly the bigger traders, will push towards those buy orders, and you just see there's a sort of a resistance point which sits around just over 1700, around about that 1700 area. So this is where we got support too. So I wouldn't be surprised this morning if we see a push up towards that weekly pivot there. So we've got the buy orders sitting above there, got good buy support underneath, so it's sort of squeezed in a little way from that point of view. But then above we've got the usual sort of sell orders in play, which will obviously feed the demand effectively if price pushes up there. That's not massively, I mean, it's only when it gets up to this area you've got more significant levels, so it could push through and start its way back up there. But this is where we've got an obvious area of potential demand which could draw that, as I say, draw the market up this morning. Okay, let's just take that pen off. There we go. So there's the euro as we're sitting. There we go. So why is that? Why are those orders up there? Well, you've got the prior highs here. Those people that have been shorting it around these previous highs here, looking for further downside, we'd be popping their stops above these prior highs, no doubt. And well, there you are. That's what may be chased later. Now, at the moment, we do have the daily pivot below. This is a statistical point which may just draw price down in the short term. I would be watching this for maybe a bounce this morning if it gets down to that sort of level. Watch out for a bounce off that. This sort of level, we've had so many sort of knocks on the door here that at some point it's likely to push through. If it doesn't and it really gets onto a bit of momentum, breaks that daily pivot, well, bets are off for those orders to be taken away, and we could be just sort of working our way slowly back down towards that sort of 1620 area again. So as I say, there is reason for upside on this. Okay, that's the euro dollar. The pound, we looked at this a lot in our trading room yesterday because I took the short side yesterday, and we got okay and a decent trade from the highs there. We got stopped the first time, second time worked. As it's sitting, a massive move up yesterday in the end. It set signals. Got this sort of divergence move across the lows here, and it may just give the pound a little bit more upside, but I'm looking at the MACD and it's not really confirming that, so really it's just an RSI divergence there on its own, which is a very short-term data I've got on this, so it may be over exaggerating the move anyway. Now we do have, of course, Brexit negotiations, which I didn't talk about initially, so Brexit negotiations may grab the pound by its throat again. And last time we saw those negotiations a couple of weeks ago, I think it might be in this week, we just saw sell off right the way through the week. It may be in this week, but he thinks it was the previous week anyway. Whatever, it does leave to risk to the downside on the pound when these negotiations are being carried out. Of course, it doesn't look like, there's murmurs that everyone wants everything done mid-October. We'll see. But we're with the pound then setting there, running to its R1 already through the Asian session now. Tightish range relatively on this, sorry, this is a weekly R1. Tightish range it looks on that 4 hourly at the moment. It's been through last week. I'm wondering if we'll come back and now actually looking at this morning and test the weekly pivot again. That 60-minute 50 looks interesting underneath. Again, we can have a look at the order book here. I'll just show you what's happening, and it's sort of it looks quite healthy in terms of that potential. So what we've got then, sell orders on top as ever, net sell orders with the reds, but we've also got this big bunch of net sell orders below. Now these sell orders are those that have been buying most likely, or some that just think, well, actually if it breaks through this sort of what level is that, 2840-ish sort of area, 20, it's a bit lower than that actually, 2830 maybe. If it starts selling through here, well, they want to be in on it, so they're sort of maybe setting their limit orders down there. Either way, there's net sell orders sitting below, which could be a draw. Support not a long way away there. I mean, we could be seeing quite a big whipsaw back today if this was to follow through, and we saw those orders being taken out before it gets any sort of support down at towards its current 4 hourly S3 now. So it's got quite a range potential on it. So really the pound looking a little bit at this stage a little bit more bearish potential in terms of both fundamentals and potentially on the technicals there, with the order book sitting quite bearish for it. So there we go, that's the pound. Yen, I'm just going to run through this really quickly now. Yen still, well, doji yesterday still pushing through this long-term average it's sitting right on at the moment, struggling to do too much here. In fact, it's put a little bit bullish pivot swing. Maybe if it breaks through that 4 hourly 200, it too has upside. Money's running back, big money's running back into the yen on the futures, but we'll see how that shows eventually on the cash markets. Now Aussie dollar had a bit of a pickup yesterday in the end, pushed up this morning, struggling, still got that weekly pivot above for a target. At this stage it's been really largely just sort of stepping its way up there. You come down to 60 minutes, it's just higher lows coming through, higher lows. Bit of a, well, actually it's almost confirmed a lower high actually in the current point in time of things. Some people will be looking at this and thinking it's divergent. Well, it's not quite made that new high. It doesn't mean to say it won't roll over, but we'll see. It's still got support until 21. It's held it so far. We've seen some pretty ugly looking periods here yesterday afternoon. It looked like it was going to continue rolling, but it didn't. It just found support. At the moment the Aussie's finding a little bit of favour and has potential. It was certainly pushed up since yesterday's London close at least, and pushing up as I speak a little. Okay, Canadian dollar. So the Canadian dollar softened against the commodity, most I say commodities, softened compared to other commodity currencies a little bit here. Saying that yesterday, just a minor doji. We've seen this sort of spinning top doji. It's really not going either way. It's just really consolidating around this area at the moment. Upside potential certainly could be there. Just looking, it's got a weekly pivot below that. A test of that might come into play. But at this stage, it does look like, well, it's sort of got that sort of range, and as I say, we could just see further upside. It is becoming favoured on the bigger money, so we could see at some point a change around, but we've been seeing, and I've mentioned it a few times, massive inflows into Canadian bonds, so big inflows there, so safety area maybe, we'll see. Anyway, for now, pushing up, so the dollar strengthening against the Canadian dollar here at the moment, so Canadian dollar weakness effectively. Okay, that's pretty much it there. Let's have a quick look at the S&Ps. So S&P's continued their sort of push up yesterday. Well, as I said yesterday, we had a pivot swing that's pushed on, triggered, running back into that daily 100. Do wonder how well it will do around that. It's having a bit of a struggle at the moment. I've just looked at the European indices. They're all down at the moment. UK FTSE's down about 36 points. The DAX is down about 77. The CAC is down about 20. So all those markets down a bit at the moment. This is really reflecting that on this market, on this current price action here. Just pulled back a little bit after quite a solid day yesterday. Now just a bull flag, well, we'll see. It's just coming back to its daily pivot here. That may just provide support. A sell-off through this area, well, it becomes a little bit more iffy, but you have the Fibos on there, or Fibonacci traders all looking for their 38s and 50 retracements, and be combining those with those moving averages for sure. So I would be watching for maybe if it does break through further for retracements coming ahead. Okay, that's it for me today. I wish you a great day. Bye for now.